What is the meaning of life? No, like, what is it? Well, sometimes we must ponder and think about what life truly means. Sometimes we must ask questions to the likes we don't have answers to. And today, we're going to be doing just that. We're going to be getting into the existential dread, Iceberg. Let's get on with stage number 1. Theism is a belief in a god or multiple gods. Normally, theism follows a sort of religious suit, in the sense that a person that is theist follows a certain religion that is popular amongst the world. Not every theist is religious. There are some people that believe in God but are not assigned with a certain religion, but majority of them are. Theism is a belief of God. Does God exist? Did God create us? What is out there in the cosmos? Are aliens gods? This question can lead to existential dread, as people are unaware of how they got here, and people are afraid of there being a higher power. Your significance. Does life have meaning? Well, exactly. We do not know what the meaning of life is, which can lead people on a rabbit hole of trying to find that meaning. Does life truly have meaning? Or are we just atoms in a void of nothing? This can lead people to depression, as they feel like their life truly has no meaning. What is your purpose in this world? What is your significance? What were you meant to do in this world? Is your purpose to reproduce? Is your purpose to make God happy? Is your purpose to become rich and wealthy in the material world? What is the purpose of one's life? Atheism is the opposite of theism. It's the belief that there isn't a God, or that we cannot prove that there is a God. No, that's agnosticism. Never mind. Atheists believe in nothing. They believe that the universe came to be out of nowhere. Stuff just happened. The Big Bang appeared out of nowhere. It's just entropy. Life is a mystery, but this can lead to a lot of debates. If there is no God, then what is the purpose in life? Sonder. Let's say you're driving down the road. Oh, you see a bunch of cars. Oh, those people aren't real, right? No, of course not. That's what one might think. But in reality, those people that you see on the road, on the sidewalk, on the news, on the internet, everywhere, each of those people has a specific individualized life in which they believe that they are the main character of. And when you realize that you are not the main character of your life, and that your life might not have meaning, it can lead to some existential dread. Is your life really that important compared to other people's? Think about it. But you know what? You know what I say? Maybe there are people out there living lives. But there are some people that live better lives than others. And there are some people that are more important than others. So, you know what? I'd say try and live the best and most important life that you can ever live and contribute to society. But enough said. This is a video about philosophy and existentialism. Mortality. Just like that, a person can easily die. People die every single day, and eventually you will too, which can cause some existential dread. And the question is too, what happens when you're dead? Where do you go? Is there an afterlife? Will people miss you? Death is very interesting. But think about it like this. Death is the end all of everything that we know of. All great things must come to an end. And in death, you will be remembered for the great things that you achieved in life. In death, all of your suffering will finally be put to bed. One of the more interesting ones. Consciousness. What is consciousness? How are we so sentient? No, like literally, like we're aware of our own sentience. That's how sentient we are. You are sentient enough and smart enough to be watching a Samuel Alves YouTube video. Good for you. But like, why and how? How are people aware of their existence? Some people might say God, others might say, an evolutionary factor. Some people argue that consciousness is when a entity gains a certain level of knowledge to the point where they are aware of their own existence. Now, we could soon see the same thing happen with robots. We feed them so much knowledge that eventually they become self-conscious. Very scary times we're heading into. The Mandela effect. What is the Mandela effect? I'll think about it like this. When did Nelson Mandela die? Oh, it was in the 80s, right? Or was it the 90s or the 70s? Nope. 2013 he died. Wait, what? 2013? That late? Yes. In 2013, Nelson Mandela officially died. But a lot of people recall him dying earlier than 2013. But it's not just Nelson Mandela. Stuff like the Berenstain Bears, the fact that the Monopoly guy had a monocle, stuff like Pikachu having a black stripe on his tail, Febreze being spelled with 2 E's, Fruit Loops not being spelled like this, Looney Tunes being spelled LooneyToons and not LooneyTunes, or the fact that I banged your mother on a Tuesday night and not on a Thursday afternoon. All cases of the Mandela effect. Now, one might argue that this is parallel universes colliding together, and that we can't remember certain things properly because those parallel universes that are colliding together are changing matter around us as we speak, which is why we might remember things differently. But majority of people just say, it's misremembering. The afterlife. Is there an afterlife? Maybe. Is the afterlife good? Maybe it's hell. Maybe you are burning alive forever and suffering in the worst way imaginable possible. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's the most pleasurable and happiest thing ever. Maybe in the afterlife, you'll finally get to live a happy family life with the house you wanted, the car you wanted, and the dream job you wanted. And the economy is doing very good in that afterlife. Unlike where I live. What is the afterlife? Where is it? And who is going there? Alright, on to stage number 2. Yes, the infamous trolley problem. This is something I've covered before on my channel. Let's say, that there is a trolley heading towards an intersection on train tracks. It is heading towards a train track with 5 people laying on it. On the other train track, there is 1 person laying on it. There is a lever that converts the train from the track with the 5 people onto the track with the 1 person. Should you not do anything and let 5 people die, or pull the lever, convert the train onto the track with the 1 person, killing that 1 person, but you have the fault of killing that person? This is a big morality question. Majority of people would probably say that yes, they would pull the lever and they would kill that 1 person in order to save 5 people. But would that happen in real life, though, is the real question. Dentology versus consequentialism is a big debate. Dentology is a belief that ethics should be based on how well people are following certain laws and rules and norms in society. For example, if a society decides to be a very religious society, morals should be defined based on how well you follow a certain religion. Consequentialism is a belief that morals should be based on doing whatever brings the greater good, whatever makes people happier. Essentially doing actions that are based off of happiness. There are lots of debates over this, as politics are brought a lot into this. Deontology is based off of Kant's philosophy. Consequentialism is based off of utilitarianism and John Stuart Mill's philosophy. Pessimism is the belief that everything is wrong, everything is bad. We should think negatively about life. It contrasts to optimism, the belief that everything is correct and right and positive. Now, I personally believe that pessimism isn't a good thing, and that people should be realists, base life off of reality, whether it's harsh or not, and then infer positive things from it. But there are genuinely people out there that believe that life is negative and horrible and corrupt, and maybe they're right. Life is pretty shit. Belief is very important in this iceberg. And this belief that life is horrible and that there's just suffering and pain out there can lead to existential dread. Apocalypse. How will the world end? Maybe a meteor will strike it. Maybe AI will take over. Maybe a biblical end times like no other will happen. All things must come to an end. And what's scary about this is that eventually speaking, we as a species will die and go extinct. There will be one final human. Will we be there to witness the apocalypse though? Maybe with AI, who knows? Psychological hedonism. What is hedonism? Hedonism is a thrive for pleasure. Psychological hedonism states that the only purpose of mankind is to find pleasure and to avoid pain. Leaves you wondering, is there really any other purpose in life? Truly? Are we trying to live the happiest of lives ever? I mean, surely, we're trying to, do what we think is best for us. When we do an action, there's always a reason behind it. We do what we think is best at the time. So maybe this belief, this pursuit in hedonism is true. We do believe in that. Nihilism versus existentialism are two sides of the same coin. They both believe that nothing matters. The difference is that nihilists believe that there is truly nothing that we can do in order to find meaning, as there is no purpose in life. And existentialists believe that maybe there isn't a purpose in life, but we can still give it meaning. We can still create meaning from nothing. The Fermi paradox is something that I've covered before, and I can, link a video down below on it. If space is so massive, where are all the aliens? Like, genuinely, where are they? Like, why haven't we come across any aliens? And there are lots of different answers to this, like the Great Filter, the fact that alien civilizations are doomed to kill themselves, stuff like maybe, aliens are far, 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 far out there and we can't even, see them. Stuff like maybe aliens don't even want to explore the cosmos. Maybe they just want to, upload their brains into a simulation and live there forever. Lots of different answers to it. The omnipotence paradox goes like this. If God is so powerful that he can do anything, then surely he must end evil. But evil still exists, so that means that God is not all-powerful, which means he can't be a god. So maybe he's evil, but that wouldn't make sense because he's God, right? That's one of the, paradoxes. The other being, can God create a stone so heavy that he cannot lift? If it is so heavy that he cannot lift, then he is not all-powerful. If he cannot create a stone that is so heavy that he cannot lift, he also isn't all-powerful. Obviously, a big rebuttal to this, claim is that paradoxes were put in place by God in order for us to not expand our knowledge too much. Ship of Thesis, something I have also covered in my channel before. The ship of Thesis goes like this. Let's say Thesis has a ship. Let's say that over time he starts to replace planks on it, one by one. At what point is Thesis' ship not a ship anymore? Let's say that he, uses the leftover planks that he replaced and he creates a second identical ship. Which one is the real Thesis' ship? See these car keys over here? Let's say that I were to, grab a knife and start carving away atoms from these car keys. At what point would these car keys no longer be car keys? At what point are objects truly no longer objects? Is there such thing as an object? Or are we just all atoms, configured in a way that, this might be defined as a car key by our weird standards? Immortality. What if we were to live forever? Can we live forever? I don't want to die. That sounds horrible. I don't want to leave this world behind. That is an existential crisis in and of itself. But immortality isn't good either. With immortality, I will watch everybody around me that I love die, including possessions themselves and the entire planet. And eventually I'll be floating in an endless void in space. Eventually I will get hungry. And I will be there, stuck in hell, as my stomach hurts forever. Maybe immortality isn't a good thing after all. And that's it for Stage 2. Stage 3 and 4 will be on their way soon. How are y'all feeling? Did y'all have an existential crisis yet? Well, if not, then the next stages will surely deliver. And back into the void I go.